Hey, what's up, guys? I am here. Um, you see this BS and whatever, and I'm here to talk about all the people who wanted JFK dead. I was gonna put a picture of JFK up there, but I don't feel like doing it. I probably will because I don't know. Fuck it. Let's just get into what we're gonna be talking about today. If so, the first people we're gonna be talking about who didn't want JFK probably in power anymore, it would be Israel. Yep, it's all Israel's fault. We all know they did it. I'm just joking. It's a possibility, but yeah, whoever assassinated him, uh, I'm not saying was affiliated with Israel. Just just a lot of stunning things. Just saying, if I go missing, it's probably them. Actually, there's a lot of people we're gonna be talking about who are sketchy, and I do not trust. I wouldn't trust. So yeah, but let's get into why didn't like him. See, Israel had something that was very controversial for anybody else besides of the United States or any Eastern, not Eastern, Western country, you should say, to have at during these times, and that's a nuclear weapon. Because what Israel were doing at this time, because because JFK thought if Israel were to produce a nuclear weapon, that what would happen is a nuclear arms race in the most high tension place in the world, which is the Middle East. So JFK going against Israel's government, saying, "Hey, I don't like that. I don't like the idea of having a area that's already high in tension having nukes." That sounds like something similar nowadays with a lot of skepticism with what they say too. But yeah, I don't like just to say I don't like anybody in this place having nukes in the Middle East. It's all just a bad place. I don't know. I I don't know why anybody would want to live there. Not because I'm being too political. I'm just saying I think personally I wouldn't want anybody in the Middle East to have nukes. Maybe that's racist to me, but yeah, let's keep on continuing. So one um one theory is that because of the fact that um Israel saw JFK as being so anti them having a nuclear weapon, being I think wasn't fully a nuclear weapon at the time, it was just a nuclear program. Just having a place, them having a nuke at the time, I think was right of JFK saying, "Hey, I don't fucking I don't like that. I don't like having a nuclear weapon in this area. It just seems bad." But let's just keep talking. Let's just keep going. And not to say that. Let me see if I'm recording. Not to say that people having nukes. I prefer no one having them, but I don't agree with everything JFK did, especially with the things like cheating on his wife with Marilyn Monroe, I think. But it's really hard um, to like point out like every single detail. Because I'm just doing this off the dome. I'm doing this off of everything, every like bit of information I remember. Like this is never gonna mention like the theoretics of like how the assassination goes. I'm just saying that now, just as we go on. But yeah, so yeah, the theory goes that Israel being like because Israel, they're very you do it if they want it type of country. So because they have so much like presence in America through like foreign foreign lobbying, they often just do what they want. Like there's the CIA former CIA agent who said that the reason why um, the current conflict with Israel and Iran and the United States happened was most likely because Israel, the United States, and our president at the time, Trump, that the reason they're going to nuke uh, Iran, and if unless what's it called unless the United States invades Iran. So that's the reason why he says. But the thing is, Israel has a lot of power in places it probably shouldn't, like the United States. But so the idea is that when people from when the people from Israel eventually came and they did this assassination. They didn't have any eyes on them. I think even some Israeli people, they mourned in public, but like privately they were celebrating. But the Israeli narrative, if you just watch a bunch of John Kiriakou stuff about Israel, I think that stuff could make you more anti-Israel and anti stuff like that. But let's just go on to the next people who also didn't want JFK in office, which was the mob. Okay, so the mob. So why do people think that the mob killed JFK? It's basically because of the fact that they got him elected. Because at the time, during this time, they were very powerful using unions and a lot of things like I forgot who that guy who controlled the unions who was eventually killed by the mob, but the mob didn't claim that they killed him. Well, they never claimed that they killed people, but they definitely did. Like there's the movie The Irishman. It's about that, but yeah, uh, you know, um, the idea is that because of the fact that a lot of fucking members of the Kennedy family go missing or they end up getting killed in mysterious ways is thought to be because of the fact that they've fucked over a lot of people. That being with how Kennedy treated those people who were mobsters who helped him get elected. And I'm trying to think of, you have those people on those former mobsters who would talk on YouTube and like say just like talk about how you know they didn't like Kennedy at the time because of how they fucked him over. They because of the fact that I think it was his brother who um was doing something that he shouldn't have with the mob, and he paid the price for it. But um, I'm trying to remember what was all the things that caused him to be looked negatively at by the mob. I'm pretty sure it's because he didn't like that the mob didn't like him. They didn't like the fact that he was so like he betrayed them in certain ways with the unions and how he backed the unions, allowing them to have more progress without having separate people from the mob being able to control it, having like their hands over it, and like seeing and like being able to be like, okay, we want these policies, let these policies happen. So yeah, people in the mob thought he was a scumbag and all that stuff. So let's talk about the next people who was the government, the literal government, our government, who I'm pretty sure it's the army or the army ordnance division of the military that are part of supplying the weapons and making the weapons that the United States government uses in war and like just in major conflicts at the time. So yeah, let's get into that. But our own government, that being the Army Ordnance, we're probably gonna talk about the CIA next, but the Army Ordnance fucking division. I'm gonna put the actual like name of it right here. But I remember watching this Wendigoon video about how how they sabotaged the M14s or M16s. I don't know which one. It could be either which one. It's M16s, I'm pretty sure. But during the Vietnam War, people didn't like a certain type of rifle that the current military was deploying for. What's it called? That they were giving out to soldiers during this time, which was the M14. I'm pretty sure it was the M14 because it's big. It uses like big ass rounds. So, but at the same time, it didn't use enough rounds. It was like 7. I don't know how much. I'm pretty sure it was low capacity. It wasn't as big as as like an M16 could hold. So when eventually when the creator of the M16, I'm pretty sure it's the trying to remember the Black Ops One. This something Stoner, Mr. Stoner, the creator of the M16, showcased his weapon to that. What happened was military leaders figured out that that these guns were being made, and they started manufacturing them, but the Army Ordnance Division didn't want that the M16s, because it's not something they made. They didn't make the M16s. They didn't produce this gun that they were the major uh, major like part of the military that would actually make the guns, like the gun designs, how they were actually manufactured and everything, so that for the average soldier in America, the average American soldier. So the fact that they weren't using the designs that they made, which was the M14, really pissed them off. And then eventually, what was it called? Kennedy's Secretary of War. I don't remember his name. He was in Black Ops One though. Started found out that there were these better guns, and then fucking started to say, hey, give these guns to soldiers, because they were tested in all conditions, and all were they were like they couldn't find a way to like fuck up the gun. They couldn't find a way to like cold climates, shitty like cold climates, like muddy and all the other climates. It was fucking like hard to fuck up this gun. So the Army Ordnance Division, they decided to say, hey, fuck that. We don't like that. So they would intentionally make the guns that they were giving out during Vietnam fucking shit. So they would send soldiers with shitty guns on purpose, and they fucked over so many people's lives due to them due to them purposely manufacturing guns that would jam, that would fuck up, that would due to humidity and all the other shit, that would affect the firing power of the American soldier at the time. And and when Kennedy found about this, he was fucking pissed. Him and the Secretary of War, when they found out that the Army Ordnance Division, the part of the government that was making the guns and giving them to the soldiers, fucking like purposely fucking them over. As any president or any leader or anybody at the time they should be pissed. They should know that their government was purposely fucking them over. I'm pretty sure. I wonder how. It's gonna happen no matter what. Someone's gonna get fucking butt hurt, and they're gonna say, "Okay, let's just make it shittier because I like my design more." I wonder. I don't want to say. I hope it's not happening nowadays with the current military, but it happens all the time. So, yeah. So they had a problem with Kennedy because Kennedy was going after them because of the fact that they were purposely making shittier weapons to give to our soldiers to make themselves look better while actually just making them shittier. So yeah, if you want a good video about this, Wendigoon's video is great. He talks a lot of good things about, not a lot of good things. How he explains it's way better than what I can explain. So I'll just say go watch that instead of watching this. I'm a shit YouTuber, but I'm just bored and I'm just like wanting to talk about random shit right now. But yeah, let's move on. Let's move on to the next people who are let me think, the communists. You know, um, as any people during this time, I can understand the fear. Sorry, there's tape right there that's sticking out. I don't know if that I'm okay. During this time, communism was very highly like communism during this time was highly like and antagonized by people who I don't know if communism would work, because every example of communism that has um existed has had shitty leaders and shitty people to back them. So I don't know if you would to place like a bunch of shitty people, like good people who actually intend to do great things, if they would actually do good. But at during this time, communism was highly antagonized by the American people. If you were if you had communist beliefs or anything that you communist beliefs or anything that was communist, it was bad to a lot of people. But some people, they Oppenheimer, like Oppenheimer, he enjoyed the Communist Party. Yeah. And, you ever seen the movie Oppenheimer? I love it. Yeah, it's pretty good movie. I've seen it in IMAX. But during this time, communist sympathizers were trying to they how people, how they are. They try to do anything to get their point made across, even the worst things, which I don't think should ever be used to try and make an point across, which is assassination. It's how Duke Ferdinand was killed, because that guy wanted to believed in certain things, and he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna kill this duke because of the certain fucking reasons," and it was stupid and caused a whole world war and led to one of the deadliest situations in history. But often, people, when you have a certain belief, you go out and you say, "Hey, I believe in this thing, and I'm gonna do whatever I can to show people that I believe in it." So they're gonna do something fucked up, do something stupid. They're gonna um, go after certain people, and that's the reason people say that the people who say that Lee Harvey Oswald was the reason why JFK was the person who killed JFK. We all know he did it. I don't think there's not a person alive that think Lee Harvey Oswald didn't kill JFK. He literally shot a police officer trying to run away. So we know he did it. We don't know if there was anybody else involved. That's another factor we don't know. We could just say we assume it was him, but yeah. And they suspected that he had communist ties to he had communist ties, and that being the person who immediately, the KGB immediately said, "Hey, that wasn't us." They they thought it was going to be a false flag to setting off a war against to the Soviet Union at the time. So yeah, I don't think it was the communists. I think it wasn't. I don't think it was them. But they had their gripes. They had their reasons. They could have done it. But honestly, I think the people who most likely did it was the people who were supposed to be watching over them, which was the CIA, which we're going to talk about right now. So yeah, the CIA probably had something to do with JFK's murder. I'm not saying they orchestrated it. I'm like 100% like, okay, do it on this day, like. But I'm saying they had they I'm not saying even if they had a part to play. I'm saying out of everybody, I think the CIA had the biggest reason, not the biggest reason, but the biggest motivation because at this time, JFK didn't like the CIA. They thought they were their own like government part that wouldn't listen to the president, wouldn't listen to certain parts, wouldn't listen to the Senate or any other part. So he didn't even want them to be around anymore. They say that JFK wanted to get rid of the CIA, and I think that's a pretty good reason for wanting to kill your boss. So 1 second, I have to go to therapy. Be right back. Okay, so CIA bullshit. I just got back talking to my counselor, and yeah, John F. Kennedy at the time was really harsh against the CIA because of the fact that he felt that they didn't have as many restrictions and what they were doing in all over the world. They were trying to push their agendas, and they did. With everything that the CIA has done to putting crack in low income neighborhoods, to supporting groups that will eventually grow and became enemies to the United States, really fucked us over. So JFK, said, "Hey, this part of the government is not as restrictive and doing whatever the fuck they want to get policies that they want, and doing shit that really fucking sucked for everybody in the world, and they're not doing shit. So why wouldn't that's the question. Why wouldn't the CIA, the people who did MK Ultra, and my dog just, oh my fuck, yeah, so why wouldn't the CIA do it? The people who literally put crack in black communities, they've done MK Ultra and a bunch of fucked up shit. So if it's anybody who killed the CIA, it's most likely this. It's killed the CIA, killed the JFK. It was the CIA. But if I die, yeah, it's either CIA or Israel, because a lot of the other groups are really not as popular, not as like doesn't have the same strength as they used to. Israel or the CIA, one of those two. But yeah, that was the video. I'm gonna go. I'm just trying to show everything that, just talk about everything. All the people that were gunning for this motherfucker, they were gunning for him. Like, a lot of people fucking hated this guy, and they wanted him. They either wanted him dead or out of the way, for they can do what they wanted. So yeah, I don't agree with all of his policies, but the assassination was definitely not. I believe wasn't just Lee Harvey Oswald wanting to kill the president. So yeah, if you want more information about that, I'm gonna put some videos up here, like probably the Wendigoon videos, and people talking about the JFK, like Wendigoon. I really like Wendigoon. Can you tell like I like Wendigoon? Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go now. Bye. I'm just gonna say fuck it, fuck you. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. I don't know how much. I don't really look at the statistics, but yeah. See you later. Bye bye.